Welcome to the Cricket Betting Podcast with me, Ed Hawkins. This is the only podcast which tells you exactly what happens in India versus Pakistan. This is a one-off special pod for the biggest betting event in the world. And it's brought to you by our new partners, BetRight. Thanks to BetRight and the Cricket Betting Podcast, there is a sign-up offer for listeners and a special priced boost throughout this relationship. We've got one of those for this India versus Pakistan game, so stay tuned. The offer is bet 10 quid and get a £10 accumulator. New customers only. Enter code ACA10, minimum 5-fold accumulator with total odds of evens or greater on BetRight. There you go. Get online now and sign up and take advantage of that ACA. As I said, we do have a special bet boosted specifically from BetRight for this podcast for India versus Pakistan. But Paul Krishnamurty, checking in with you. No Richard Mann is travelling. Just to say, if you wonder why there's only two of us. But Paul, it's not hype, is it, to call this the biggest betting event in the world? It's absolutely massive.
No, absolutely. It's off the scale. And what a bonus, because let's be honest, none of us thought we were going to get this. So we've got this, and they might meet again in the final the way things are going, which really would be the biggest event ever, wouldn't it?
Don't fancy Pakistan's chances of getting out with the trophy from India if they did win it. There you go. That's a political podcast for you. It's not hype either, is it, Paul, to tell you when we say this is what happens? This is what happens in these games. Last week's pod produced 5 out of 7 winners on the best bets. We're absolutely nailing it, Paul.
It is very exciting at the moment. It is very exciting. I mean, I think we've been going consistently making profits since we started the podcast last July. But this year, what a start. I mean, the best bets are over 100% up ROI this year. If it wasn't for England somehow, failing miserably in the chase against West Indies, we'd have got the absolute perfect clean sweep in our best bets. So long may it continue.
Yeah, and we're returning whopping old profits on the VIP channel, which you can subscribe to in the comments below. Not only could you subscribe, you can get 50% off to the Telegram service using code ASHES25. How are we doing on that? Well, we've had 2 out of 3 winners this time as we record. So I think our ROI on that has ticked over to 10% on the lifetime and approaching 30 points plus in February alone. Why are you not getting signed up to these things? Come on, go and do it now in the comments section below. We are saving the best bets from this special one-off podcast for that VIP Telegram service and the free tips channel. So you need to sign up. We will have one bet each on this pod for you, but the majority of bets are going to be going into those channels. So you need to get online. So India versus Pakistan, Sunday, 13:30. We've got the team news. We've got the match winner. We've got strategies, trades. We've got nuggets. We've got player win rates. We start with the betting threes on India, Sky Bet Power, Betfair, Betway. Pakistan stand out at 7-2 with 365. India won the last 5 in this format. They've also won the last 5 in ICC events. People will tell you Pakistan have got a problem against India in the biggest of the big games. India probable lineup for you is Ishan, Abhishek Sharma. We expect to come back after that stomach bug. Tilak, Sky, Hardik, Dubey, Rinku, Aksar, Varun, Arshdeep Bumrah. India, last 30 games in T20, average score of 173. They concede an average of 157. Pakistan, those numbers are 156 and 136. So you can see the difference between the size and where the strengths probably lie in those teams. Obviously, India, the best batting team in the world in terms of strike rate. Farhan Ayab opening the batting for Pakistan. Salman, Babar, Usman, Nawaz, Shadab, Fahim, Afridi, Abra Ahmed, and it's a question of whether they go with the spinner Usman Tariq or Salman Mirza to complete their 11. Paul, what have you made of India so far? Fortunate to get away with one against the Yanks. Jacqueline Hyde batting performance against Namibia when 300 was on, came up way short of 209, which would have cost back as absolute tons on those runs lines.
Yeah, very unconvincing, to be honest. I mean, it's early days, and look, they won both games comfortably enough, so does it matter? But, I've got my question marks, to say the least, especially about the batting. Like, they're good players, but I don't know if you get this sense, but think about the Indian sides that we've become used to in recent years. They had leaders, even if, like, we've often questioned whether Kohli should play in this format or not, but he's a leader. Shreyas Iyer, a leader. Shubman Gill, a leader. Rohit Sharma, a leader. None of them in this side, and particularly against Namibia, they just got lost in that game completely, didn't they? Like, the pile was up at 270. Um, I'm really, I'm just not that convinced. I mean, they're still going to take a lot of beating, but if I was South Africa looking at them, or even New Zealand, I wouldn't be terrified.
Yeah, I suppose the thing with India at the moment with their batting is you're right. Who in that lineup is taking the innings by the scruff of the neck and controlling it? And we criticised India, didn't we, in the past in T20 for Kohli and Sharma probably being too slow. But of course, in that T20 World Cup and in the final, Kohli took that innings by the scruff of the neck and said, right, this is the score we're posting. And he got them there. They don't actually have a player like that. They're a bit sort of England Ashes, really, in terms of, oh, this is just the way we play. We're just going to smash it. And they're all kind of leaving it a bit to each other.
Absolutely, and I mean, I know we've become used to this, just smash it all the way through the innings from the IPL. But as we're seeing, that isn't necessarily the way forward in this World Cup. No one's really doing that. And, again, yesterday, it's hard to get away from that. They were on for like 270 plus easily. And I don't know, they went too hard, didn't they? And then suddenly they were like 3 or 4 down. They didn't know what to do. So, look, I mean, you look at this game here, and we've already seen that this ground, it's not, it's not a ground where you can just hit it for 20 overs at all. I could see him getting bogged down. Could definitely see him getting bogged down.
Yeah, it's not a this is the way we play surface. We'll come to the ground guide in a sec. Let's just check in with Pakistan. Did well to get up to beat the Dutch. Thinking about India-Pakistan contest as a whole, though, Paul, unfair to pin Pakistan as a side to choke or can't cope with the pressure in these ICC games against their fierce rivals, because essentially India have just been the much better team against most of the teams they've been playing in these tournaments in recent years.
Yes, I mean, they are the inferior side, and you could certainly understand, with all the politics behind it, them being a bit cautious in these games. But on all recent evidence, they've been terrible against India. All I would say is, I mean, I wasn't convinced at all about Pakistan's side. I'm still not really, but they are in form. They're in better form at this point in time than they have been in going into or in the early stages of those recent ICC events. And of course, this isn't in India. This is neutral venue.
Yeah, important. It is a neutral venue, and the ground guide. Let's get onto that, because I think that gives us the angle on the match odds analysis. So night games at the RPS, and this is a night game. 21 out of 29 have been won by the chase. We're getting 7.7 RPO. More recent study sample of all games since 2021, 13 matches, 10 out of 13 won by the chase, and a very similar RPO. We often talk about a surface being required in these mismatches, and I think that's fair to say this is a mismatch, given we've got 7-2 Pakistan from 365 in this game. We need some sort of leveler, whether that be conditions overhead or underfoot. We're definitely getting that at the RPS with that massive chase bias. And Paul, feel free to shoot me down, but I'm backing Pakistan here at significant odds against, with that chase bias in their favour. What's your thoughts on how the game goes? And do Pakistan have to chase to win the match?
I don't think they have to chase. but it's certainly an advantage, especially in the night games. I mean, notably in the matches so far, they've been won by the defender, but only one was a night game. Um, I do think there is a squeak. They've got a squeak here if they bat first and they can put on 160, 170. It's not an easy place to chase, but it's definitely an advantage. I mean, the Dubai game, I think you're right. You've got to disregard that because Dubai, we saw in that tournament, it was chase to one virtually every game.
Alrighty. I think we're close to concurring there, which is
Yeah.
good. But we've got we want to look at sixes markets. We also want to look at the run strategy. Sixes, Paul, we're absolutely nailing winner after winner on the VIP channel. It's been like shooting fish from a barrel for you. You've spotted something on this game.
Again, the line is totally wrong. So, Betfair, Paddy Power, Sky Bet, they're all up 15.56s in this game. So 15 T20 internationals now in the last 5 years. None of them finished above 12. So 15 out of 15 winners. 80% of them were below 10 and 2/3 were below 9. So 15.5 is completely the wrong line. And remember as well that a lot of those games, but only reached a high of 12, you had mismatches where the better side was batting first and they still didn't get anywhere near. Australia only got 5 for Ireland, for example.
Yes, it's peculiar that the layers aren't picking up on the trend. Normally they would have spotted it by now. But long may it continue. Look, and whisper it. Don't tell anybody else. Let's talk a run strategy. I do have a feeling for something in play with Pakistan, potentially if they're batting first and going well. This is a strategy we return to, well, across all formats, really. And Pakistan are a reliable team in terms of if they can get a start, if they can get a partnership going, then the time to get against them, go unders on runs. And there is form for that. Certainly against India the last time they played 91 for 2 to 98 to 5, and then to 159 is all they posted. And in the last T20 World Cup in New York, chasing 119, 73 for 2 to 113 for 7. So we're looking for a partnership in that sort of first 3 to 4 wicket zone, I suppose. Can they go put 50 or 60 on and then look for the market to spike up and then go unders? That is an opportunity and one which has paid off in the past with Pakistan. Hopefully they do it from the power play and then we can go unders after the first 6. They are sort of set up to do that with Farhan in decent form, but we'll come back to him. Paul, you've got something on runs?
Yeah, I completely agree. You want to be backing unders in running for sure. This is not, with the exception of maybe the last 2 or 3 overs when they're slogging, this is a very hard track to score once the spinners get on. Might well be a used pitch as well. This is the 4th game there. And Pakistan have certainly got form for collapsing after a good start. And so have India, to be honest with you. Like I say, look at the last game, Namibia, right? They've ended up missing par by under 65 runs. It's not going to be easy for new batsmen to come in at all in, say, the 11th, 12th over. And also, just to add as well, in terms of going against Pakistan, this is India's strength for me. When Varun gets in the middle overs, when Varun gets on, that's when teams collapse. You know, India can run through teams. The scoring just completely dries up.
Yeah, I do wonder whether they might try and shoehorn Kuldeep into this team as well, given what the surface is like. I mean, if they do that, that would definitely lend itself to the Pakistan trade to short their runs, because Varun combined with Kuldeep in the sort of middle overs for Pakistan would be an absolute nightmare. They would have to obviously weaken their batting, which they may be worried about, given that it is a low scoring surface. And I mean, how many spinners do you actually need? Because they could bowl Abhishek, they could bowl Tilak. They've also got Axar in there already, but Kuldeep may well come into consideration. Remember to sign up to BetRight. Sign-ups do support the Cricket Betting Podcast to come back every week and do give you these special one-off pods for the biggest of games. We may return to do a one-off special throughout this T20 World Cup for potentially semi-finals or the final, but we'll keep you posted on that. So do sign up to BetRight, please, so we can keep coming back. We still have to give you that special price boost from BetRight, which we have requested, and there are other specials boosted with them as well. Stay tuned to find out what the bet is. Paul, you got any more nuggets for this one?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, building on what you were saying about the spin, look, for me, I would be looking to bowl 14 overs plus of spin here, both sides. And they've both got the players, they've both got the part-time spinners. And possibly the way to go here is player performances. I mean, we've seen with Varane, very reliable on that. Very, very reliable with Lewis many times in the VIP. Mohammed Nawaz, more than anyone, right? He's been super reliable. Saim Ayub has been reliable. Like the lines aren't all out on these player performances, but if we can get Ayub around the 30, 31.5, Nawaz about 27, that's fine by me.
Yep, bets like that are going to be posted in VIP. Just a little nugget from me before we move on to players to follow. And this is specifically looking at the sixes market, just in case we've got that Pakistan collapse, and 30-40 could well win at sort of top bat market. That does open up the possibility of most sixes wins. So just looking at Crick Stats' numbers on this, and you can sign up to crickstats.ai. I would suggest you do so to use all their incredible betting data, so you can check the data for markets such as most sixes. So Farhan averages 1.54 sixes per game in the last 30, so no surprise to see him 13-5 favourite. But the value comes when you look at players who are second and third on that list over those 30 games. So it's Shadab at 1.2, not far behind. You're getting 15-2 with Bet365. Nawaz is third on that list, 0.8 sixes per game, 8-1 Bet365. Also check out Defa Bet, who tend to mirror Bet365 prices on those markets. I think they're the only two firms which do most sixes per team. Let's talk about player win rates. We'll go to Pakistan first. Top run scorer Farhan, 25% with the bat, but he will be going for 3 in a row. I do sort of mindful to consider shorting him actually in this game, just because of the type of player he is. He's consistently inconsistent, so he is not a guy I would expect to be putting scores together in terms of 3 in a row. I have 21%, Nawaz 22% on top bowler. I'll give you prices as we go on these. Afridi has a win rate of just 10% on top bowler, so he's one to swerve. Salman Mirza, 35% win rate. That's from 14 games only, however. So a little bit concerned about the study sample on that one. BetRight have boosted Babar Azam to 4-1 for top Pakistan batsman. There's no suggestion that he should be as short as that. Salman Aga 4-1. You can get 4-1 Babar generally, I think. Farhan 3-1 with Hills, top bat, Sky Bet Power. Who else we got? Agar, Pause, bit of 7-2, and top bowler. I'll find for you now. With now as the one to look out for. Oh my lord, Paul, 7-1. Unibet, Bet Victor, 10bet, Sky Bet Power. Oh, whisper it. Don't tell anybody about that. Paul, who are you following on Pakistan?
Like I said, I like the dual purpose players. I think that Nawaz rock solid on the player performance. Plus, I mean, he came in at 5 in the last game, and he has batted as low as 4 over the years. I think he's 14-1. Not all the firms are up yet. 14-1, maybe even been 16-1. So that's value. Could look at Shadab as well. Even, to be honest with you, look, I can see it's been a very low scoring game. I mean, another interesting stat, sorry to just go back onto the runs and sixes thing, but 15 matches, 300 total match runs has only landed 3 times in 15 matches, and 14 out of 15 were under 316, and the line is generally going off like 318, 319. So it's an under thing. Now, I think with loads of quality spin on both sides, this could easily be a like 140, 141 kind of game. In which case, I think that some of these big prices, like Nawaz in particular, Shadow particular, Fahim, he'll be 28. We know we've seen him win so many times over the years. Even Shaheen Afridi, he can come and slog it to death and get 30, and he could be interested in that total sixes market even.
Yeah, Afridi 66s with 10 bet. Fahim is 28s with William Hill. Nawaz 16s, Hills bet Victor Boyle and 10 bet. This game just seems like one of those where we're really in the matrix and very there's a lot of opportunity here.
Also, I mean, India's new ball bowling has been outstanding, right? I mean, I wouldn't trust that Pakistan top order at all. As you say, Farhan's on a run, but he's very inconsistent. Ayub also very inconsistent. Very easy to see India getting into them in the middle order and to take over.
Yeah. Just a point on consistency, sort of those top bat numbers. We really want to be seeing sort of 30% numbers for top bats. Let's look at India players to follow, and it is time to discuss that bet right boost price, which we've specifically requested. I'm extremely keen on Abhishek Sharma because he wins at 38% of the time. He is due. We're getting 3-1 top India bat thanks to BetRight. And to put that in context, he's 11-4 elsewhere. Sky has been winning at 15%, 10-3 with BetRight. That's a boost. 11-4 Varun, 24% win rate, top bowler. That is a boost as well. Paul, India players to bet with or get against?
Well, I mean, you're right. Absolutely, that is value, Abhishek Sharma, no doubt about it. I mean, his record is spectacular. My only concern is more the same, what I was saying before, that I just think it's a low-scoring game, so you instinctively more with a middle order. But then equally, Pakistan bat first, 130 all out. You'd love to be on 3-1 Abhishek, wouldn't you? And he's only got to get, probably 35 to win. So, I mean, again, what would the run, think of it that way round? The run line for Abhishek is about 31.5, 32.5, something like that. And that's 5-6. The chances are you'll win this market with 45, right? So that's not a 3-1 chance, is it? On the bowler front, I like Varun. I think I'd probably prefer to do his performance, though, just because it's such a wide open market, top India bowler.
Yeah, and also it's one to wait for the team news, because if Kuldeep comes in, Kuldeep's win rate is in the 40s. Study sample not quite there, but because Varun and Kuldeep don't generally tend to play together, but Kuldeep definitely one potentially in play, so to speak, once we know team news. That is something for the VIP. Are you subbed up yet? Why not? I'm going to give you 50% off the Ashes code 25. That's the one to use to sub up with to the VIP channel. Bets for Pakistan versus India, the biggest betting event of the year, will be going into that VIP channel. Paul, shall I pin you down for one bet if you had to absolutely have it now?
Oh, absolutely. Under 15.56s with Betfair, Paddy Power, Sky Bet.
All right, that's Paul's top rated bet. My top rated bet is that BetRight boosted Abhishek Sharma 3-1 top India back. Go and get signed up to that. You'll get the ACCA boost offer for you as well. This has been the Cricket Betting Podcast with me, Ed Hawkins, and Paul Krishnamurty, winning you money consistently. We are going to be back next week, for another usual cricket betting podcast where we tell you exactly what happens in the T20 World Cup. We'll see you then.